Well, what a great day. I heard so many wonderfully vibrant conversations. I don't think I've ever heard the words charisma, dynamic, leadership when we talk about ringing generally. So really interesting stuff coming up. Not all agreements. There's challenges, there's all sorts going on there. So we're going to hear some of the conclusions. We're going to hear from each of the presenters, and we're going to hear specifically from the younger group who are going to somehow magically come down from on high shortly.
We spent a little bit of time examining what's gone on today. And today, of course, is about the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, I now introduce the future, and I shall return to the past.
We did a summary on the talk A, of the summary of who we want ringing and how we're going to get them to ring. For who, we thought that everyone should be welcomed. Anyone who can make practice nights. They don't have to be able to make Sundays. In the future they may be able to make them, but even if they can't, Sunday service ringing is only a small part of ringing.
That's the way it's going. So how are we going to get them? Mini rings at Summer Fete, that works in my local tower just this summer. We have free trial sessions. We think that trainers should go to schools and try and get groups of potential large groups of young people, and try and persuade them as a group to take it up. Most of you will be aware of the Duke of Edinburgh scheme. That's where young people have to pick up a hobby or a skill. So we could really try and get on board with that, because that's an easy way to get people on board. We need greater awareness of what ringing is actually about. Most of my school friends don't know much about ringing at all. They don't know what change ringing is. They think it's just pulling on a rope. So I think we really need to try and transform the image of what bell ringing is about. Another idea was to utilise celebrity figures. There have been celebrity ringers in the past, and I think in my lecture it was mentioned that Princess Anne once learnt to ring, and everyone likes following celebrities, so that would be a good way to get hold of people. The don'ts with this lecture: don't try and make ringing cool. It never will be cool to a 14-year-old. So don't try and go down that route. Just try and go down the route of what ringing actually is. And don't insist on Sunday commitments, and don't insist on serious commitment, because when you're starting up something new, you don't know how committed you are going to be to it until you really find out what it's about. Okay, thank you.
Hello. Our group was talking about how you could keep us interested in ringing, and we sort of highlighted three of the main points. One of them was goals and certificates. We thought that things like a national youth striking competition and getting reward schemes and sort of being set goals that we want to try and achieve, and also getting rewarded with it with certificates and things like that at the end of it would be a good idea. We also looked at the sort of the day-to-day life of a young ringer, and it can be quite intimidating when you're young and you go into a tower full of pensioners. And it can be quite scary. So we're thinking, if you don't have any friends that want to ring with you, you don't have any other peers your own age, sort of looking at the youngest person in the tower, probably around the 50s-ish, would be good as sort of a mentor to be on your side and making sure you you're not terrified of the other ringers. Another one is to have sort of young ringers events, so not just going out and ringing and not just going out and sort of learning new methods, but sort of going tenpin bowling or paintballing or anything like that, just to sort of give us more of a social life while we're ringing as well. Some of the please don't do this is refusing to teach people who can't ring on Sundays. A lot of young ringers, well, not a lot, but quite a few of them, they're not ringing for going and being in a church, they're ringing for more hobbies, and it's more of a skill to learn. So sort of not encouraging people to ring just because they can't make sort of the Sunday rings and evensong and things like that. It's please don't. And the other one was that the integrated teacher training scheme, apparently I don't know this, but, well, I don't know this, apparently. It takes apparently 2 years to do like one module. I don't know about that, it was just written on a post-it note, so I'm saying it, which is a long time to learn how to teach. So.
We're here to talk about leadership and our thoughts on the back about what's important to us. I mean, it's all nice you can read it, but I think it's a bit small. We want to give young people, positions of responsibility. We're not asking to be tower captain, but if there is IT, we can totally do it. Chances are we can probably make a web page quicker than you guys. And it can be useful, and it's nice to be appreciated, even in a very small way. On the kind of flip side of that, if we are a responsibility, it's the most undermining thing not to be recognised. I was tower captain of tower really, and for a long time, every single person who walked up the staircase instantly greeted the first, chappie called Bernard every time. And it's not, I don't know what it was, but every time they went straight to Bernard and introduced themselves as a visitor, being new to the area. But it'd be kind of nice if actually they thought it could be someone else. There was a lot of young people in the tower, and every one of them was a tower captain as well at some point. So please do take note that we have responsibility and we're happy to use them. So do not be afraid to use the talent you've got. We heard a bit about structure, and wait for it. Many young people don't know about Central Council. So if you think it's going to be useful, then maybe do a bit of work telling us a little bit more about it. I think it's a fantastic tool. It's a great way to disseminate ideas and get things related to everyone else. But if we're not looking at it, then we're never going to find out about it. And kind of going against that a little bit, if something is an idea, then just go ahead and do it. You don't have to refer to everyone in the diocese, you don't have to talk to Central Council, you don't have to make a subcommittee. Just go and do something about it, please. And the worst that can happen is if it goes wrong and you've got 5 people who you like and you're probably in the same area and you can go to the pub, it's not and the final thing is youth representatives, again with more responsibility. If there is, whether it's in a tower and you've got loads of kids, or if it's in a diocese and you've got a token gesture, get one of them to speak for everyone else. You never know, they might have some ideas which is useful, or want to say something, or have a problem with something. And yeah, we've got a mind, and sometimes we're actually quite good at using it, so it'd be nice for it to be used sometimes. But I think that's everything we had. Great, thank you.
We're going to talk about what we can learn from other youth organisations such as the church and Girl Guiding. We were actually the only ones that went to this one, so we didn't get a choice about what we spoke about. The good points that we thought about the Girl Guiding Association and the church and choirs in general, especially about Girl Guiding. They've got a successful website. It's accessible to everyone. It's a central website for everyone in the UK. I know various branches have their own websites, but there's
there's no kind of central one. With the Go Guiding one has kind of downloads and things that everyone can look at. Their accreditation scheme at all levels is very useful, both in kind of badges and challenges for the younger ones and personal targets and actual kind of courses they can go on for the older ones. So everyone likes getting some kind of recognition for what they've done. Public profile. There's a big public profile of Girl Guiding. They've got a very distinctive logo. They're always at various places. They're doing things in the community, which not necessarily many ringing towers do. We've talked about people taking mini rings to fate. A number of people have said that and said it works really well. And it's the kind of thing that even necessarily not doing something very specifically ringing related, but just getting us out into the community more. They present their ideas in a much more enthusiastic way than quite a few of us do. And I suppose to enthuse young people, they are much younger than the people that we're aiming to recruit for ringing, but so they have to be done in a more enthusiastic way. And also what was talked about was, as part of the wider thing, was about how it has been shown apparently in studies that ringing improves exam results. Not. So get the teachers on board and then all want to send their kids ringing. The things that we thought weren't so good about the presentation was, well, not about the presentation, but how it relates to ringing, is that there are a lot of things about these specific organisations that are non-transferable skills to what they do and what we do. It's a very different organisation. Something like Girl Guiding, something like the National Trust, something like church choirs, they are actually very different to what we do. And we're very skills-based, and one specific skill, really. And the other problem that we as ringers have, which we need to kind of overcome, is that people always want value for money. People will see something like guiding as brilliant value for money because you get so many different things that you can do, which we may be limited in what we can offer for the money that's available. So we need to encourage the things that we have got.
Technology, and we came up with sort of 4 main points, mostly relating to how we use technology and sort of the promotion of bell ringing. The first one is the promotion of bell ringing using technology, so maybe going for real-time cameras in churches, using social media and simulators to sort of explain to non-ringers and to ringers what's really going on up there. The second point we came up with is using technology to reinvent ringing as an activity, so the use of films and multimedia, maybe making films for YouTube or something, just to really put it out there that we're not monks on the end of like ropes. Also the use of technology in teaching, so things like simulators and ABEL, and focusing on teaching centres. I don't know, they're quite expensive, but it seems like they're really valuable, and it's sort of a resource that everyone can use. And then finally, sort of apps. I know we've got a few for like iPhones and stuff, but maybe we should expand to non-ringers as well. So maybe like the wedding market, how can you find bells for your wedding or something? Maybe games related sort of vaguely to bell ringing, just to sort of put it out there that it's not people making horrible noises most of the time. And the final, the sort of criticisms we had relate to cost, practicality, and sort of technophobia, maybe among the slightly older ringers. We're very happy to help you. Use Facebook and things like that. Like, it's really easy, so anyone can do it. Cost and practicality, of course, it takes a lot of effort, volunteering, money, time. But I think this is something that's really worth doing for the future, and that's about it.
We were looking at the organisation of ringing, and the main thing that struck us was that the organisation of things like the Central Council was far too complex, and And we think that if things like that were simplified, there'd be a lot less bureaucracy, and things would tend to get done more often rather than just talked about. We thought there should also be a rebranding of Ringing in general, which should have some kind of logo, and a simple award scheme should be created, which would be like music grades. One of the things that was suggested in the seminar was that there should be a charge for learning to ring. And we think because a lot of people don't really know what they're getting themselves into when they start to learn to ring, they probably wouldn't choose to do it if they knew they were going to have to pay for something they knew nothing about. And for that reason as well, we thought there should be a simple structure to introduce new learners to ringing. Thank you.
I've been asked by Graham just to quickly say on behalf of the youth and what we want to happen now. And that is decent central council websites, or a website, I think would be very useful. I had to email Kate actually recently to ask for some information on ringing centres because I just couldn't find anything, and she just emailed me back with the links to central council websites, and looking back to it, it shouldn't have been that hard to get there, but maybe it was just me. Respective responsibility for youth. Yeah, I think it would be great if you gave some more responsibility to us. There obviously is going to be an aversion to youth at the helm. Respect your elders. I totally agree, and I think it's great. If you haven't been to Worcester, do go, because Mark and Bernard have done great there, and Elva and I went last year to see the school coming in on a Friday lunchtime, and they basically look after themselves with coaches, and it's great. They look after their own IT equipment, they look after their own everything, basically. They do it. They look after. They did all the DVDs, and it's basically giving out. You don't have to be a fantastic ringer to be a part of the town, and you don't have to be of any age to have a say in anything. And I think that's something which would appeal to the youth a lot. A ringing logo. Maybe a bell of some sort might go well. Yeah, just something for us to be maybe recognised a bit more nationally, rather than just a central council logo, and obviously every town has got its own logo, with a bell and broken wheel and stuff. I think, yeah, that would be good. Everyone recognise the Scouts logos, the whole point of branding. You see Tesco, it could be, those letters could be jumbled up. You see it in, you see those colours, the dashes underneath, you know what it is. A permanent youth panel. This could be possibly a national or an association or guild level. The national ringing contest that was held this year, the centenary of the ringing world, obviously went very well, and I believe it's being held every year. Why can't there be a youth panel permanently as well, for sense of permanence, that we're not obviously the only youth in the country, and you're not going to hold another one of these every weekend in different places in the country. Somewhere that maybe other youth can contact us to ask us what we've got from today, or can ask us in the future. Youth forum would be great, either online or whatever. The public perception of ringing is, yes, it's Christmas cards, and we're on the end of a rope, we have a Mars bar, and then we go bang, and things like that. It's obviously not like that at all, and the way Mark said it is great. It's sport, striking compositions, it's music, it's an instrument, it's math, place notation and musical permutations, or mathematical permutations rather. Why can't we put this out a bit more as a sport, mathematical and a musical activity? It's those three things. Those three things are going to appeal to schools a lot more. I think that's what we would like to see happen first. Thank you.